r/relationships. Accurate Swimmer 326 says, my husband keeps ruining my birthday. How do I tell him without starting a fight? It is my 41 female birthday today. My husband 49 male of 19 years can be an asshole. I don't need anyone to tell me that. His shitty behavior is few and far between though. Most of the time we get along, love each other, sex is great and fairly frequent. He is very unselfish in bed, cleans up around the house, ready to jump in and do whatever needs to get done with the kids. Generally a good husband with some bad qualities. The problem arises when we try to resolve conflict and he is extremely defensive to the point it's aggressive. Hence my post. Last year on my birthday, I didn't tell him clearly enough what I wanted him to do. While we planned the evening, he ended up snapping at me then refusing to speak to me, and I ended up crying driving myself and our kids to the trampoline park. That's where I wanted to go. I love it. He doesn't. This year I was clear. I said I wanted to do the pool or another type adventure park by us, think Dave and Buster's, but also with a zip line. He said oh no, don't plan anything. He has a surprise. While I was out running a quick errand with my daughter today, he told me to come home because the surprise was almost there. It was that he invited my mother over for the day. My mother and I aren't close. She is emotionally cold and distant to the point she can be rude to me, and he knows our relationship is unfulfilling at best and disappointing at worst. She will sometimes just pretend I'm not speaking and start talking to someone else while I'm mid-sentence. We don't spend time together, and my husband doesn't particularly like her either. And so far he has spent the day giving us 20 minutes at the table having cake, then he went in our hot tub alone, now he's downstairs playing some video games. I'm stuck here with my mom, who will probably stay until bedtime. I feel like my day is ruined again. I'm seething mad. In all fairness to him, he bought me flowers and several pieces of Coach jewelry, even though I don't wear jewelry, which he knows. I feel like he threw money at it, invited my mom to babysit me, so now he can do what he wants. How do I bring this up without causing a raging argument? I feel angry and overlooked. I feel like I was handled and then bailed on. Please give me some blueprint for how to handle this. Too long. Didn't read. My husband tries to do my birthday his way, somehow escapes the day to do something else, doesn't listen to what I want, and it ends in tears. I want to broach the subject without it seeming like an Rin says. Stop spending your birthday with your husband. Plan a day or weekend for yourself or with friends. Go out of town. Tell him about it in advance, give reminders that he'll be on his own, and stonewall any attempts by him to change your mind or join you. After 19 years together, you can either accept that he is not going to come through for you here, or you can continue to be miserable on your birthday. What problem says? Does your husband even like you? Too tired for this 8 says. Go downstairs, grab his lazy ass, and tell him he can play games after his guest has gone home. He doesn't just get to hand you off to someone. Disignska says. Tell him. If it has to be a fight, so be it. Artsai Attempt says. It seems like he's punishing you on your birthday. Helati Jalali says. Sometimes people just need their asses beat. In this case, it's your husband. Don't let him ruin any more of your birthdays because he's lame. La Berica 6431 says. Tell him you're giving yourself a divorce for your birthday. Robert Acatus Green says. Here is what you do. You say, I didn't like your surprise. Are you crazy? You honestly thought I'd want to hang out with my mom? You have to be insane. I feel like you don't care about me. I feel like you don't know what I like. I feel let down. You can be mad about my feelings, but I'd like you evaluate it. Until then I'm staying in the extra bedroom. Communication is key. If he's going to be angry, but about it, that's a him problem. Not a you problem. Red Fox Redbird says, don't have a fight over your husband's birthday plans for you. I read that you are having a do-over day. Do just that and enjoy it. Helper Swana Help says, after 19 years, you know exactly who he is. Why not just plan your birthday yourself, the way you want it? Maybe even a weekend vacation away from him to relax. Clearly you can't trust him, and surprise simply means he forgot and will totally not really come up with something at the last minute. Sure, it's nice for your partner to be thoughtful, but that's not what you have, and he's not changing ever. So take control of your own life, and maybe he can show up if he chooses, and if not, your plan won't be, frick, ed up. I personally wouldn't have stayed with someone like him for so many years. See Mimi says, take a risk and let your feelings be known. Tolerate his behavior, and you will forever have to deal with this kind of bull. Start a fight or an argument. Hurt his feelings, if needed for him to understand. Or you'll risk losing yourself as you endlessly adjust to his temperament. Him take therapy, looks like he needs it. But don't downplay your feelings/thoughts just because you can't afford him getting mad. Or Agnacium says, sounds like he doesn't care about you or making you happy. Not even on your birthday. Tell him and be honest about it. Then take a day for yourself to do the things you wanted to do. r/relationships. Extension Mixture 940 says, I 29 male, have 2 lifelong friends 29 female, and my girlfriend 29 female, doesn't like it. I'm a 29-year-old male that's been with my 29-year-old girlfriend for the last 6 years. From my childhood, all of us age 4, I have known and grown up with 2 females who are essentially adopted family for my very large Italian family. They go to every Sunday dinner, all events, etc etc. We've been friends forever, grew up together, and even went on family vacation trips together. I left home when I was 18, so my interactions with them naturally faded to occasional texts around birthdays and catching ups whenever I'm in town and such. From my point of view, my girlfriend is extremely insecure with my relationship with my friends. Anytime we go home for Christmas and I end up seeing them at family gatherings, she always has the grosser list of things I did wrong, like I hugged them too long, I talked with them longer than everyone else, sat too close together while looking at pictures on our phones, etc. I get the accusations that I want to have flings with them, the accusations that they only want to talk with me is because I'm taken, and they're trying to woo me away. In her defense, they are both very attractive, and around age 12 I kissed one of them during a game of truth or dare, where the dare was instigated by my little brother. She keeps deciding my feelings, and telling me I have a repressed lust for them, because they are attractive, and that I've kissed one. And not taking into account that they're basically my sisters. Now that the ground is laid, the reason for current discomforts, I will take some blame for how I went about things, and have already apologized for how I chose to go. About 2 months ago they both came into town for a work conference, and wanted to say hello, and I told them I can stop by after work one of the days they're here, and get a quick bite to eat, and chat for a bit. But I chose to not tell my girlfriend about meeting them beforehand, and chose to tell her once I got home immediately after. We worked through that fight that week, but weeks later she still keeps bringing up things, and expects me to keep apologizing profusely for having these female friends and wants me to not hang out with them, except when we go home, and are together, and stuff like that. I just really don't know what to do here, and would like some advice. Too long. Didn't read. I have 2 female friends from when I was age 4 that my girlfriend gets jealous. Grumpy G says, did any other GF have this problem? Does your GF have this problem with other women or just them? Voravixen says, her constantly thinking you want to cheat on her is a red flag. that she has been cheating on you. For some reason people who are cheating start to accuse the person they are with of cheating. If not, she needs therapy, she has insecurity problems, and doesn't trust you. Stop saying sorry for seeing family, be firm, they are family, and you won't accept her bad-mouthing spending time with them anymore. Slappy McJones says, she's crazy. Where does this end? Are you going to ditch these friends for this lady? Odd Welcome 7940 says, if you really want to fix this, then stop looking at the end results and objects. Start looking at cause and effect. Your girlfriend has an insecurity she needs to work out. You have every right to be annoyed by that, and you probably should have taken a harder stance against that immediately. Set a hard boundary, they are family, and as long as you aren't ganging out with them one-on-one, or as long as your girlfriend is invited to where you go, she needs to deal with it herself. Maybe even get therapy. That ship sailed when you chose to lie by omission. You chose to avoid conflict and just not tell her something you knew would upset her. Now you need to separate that and deal with it. Deal with it completely until she admits she knows you learned your lesson. Then you need to go back to that paragraph above and revisit it. Not about just them, but about how you to act. You need to be totally direct and honest and not suffer any BS attacks about them if there is truly nothing wrong there. She needs to learn her insecurities are hers to deal with and maybe learn to be family with them, like she will have to if your relationship progresses. Imin Alkan says, jealousy is a downward spiral. It's not your job to make insecure women feel better. This will get worse before it gets better. My advice is to stop apologizing and don't withhold any information in the future. Tell her that she can either accept you for who you are or not, but you haven't done anything wrong. Chipface says, and around age 12 I kissed one of them during a game of truth or dare, where the dare was instigated by my little brother. That's literally nothing. You were 12 FFS. 59 Flower Pots says, right now it's the sister friends. Later it will be your female colleagues, female service workers, and eventually any woman that comes within feet of you, or women on TV that you will never talk to. There's nothing you can do because she just doesn't trust you. She didn't get to this place out of logic, you can't reason her out of it. If she doesn't want to work on her own insecurities, things will never get better. You either accept that or you leave. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.